In the summer of 356 BC, in the ancient Macedonian city of Pella, a boy is born to a one-eyed warrior king who has spent his reign transforming a minor northern kingdom into the most formidable military power in the Greek world, and to an intensely religious, fiercely ambitious Epirot princess who believes, with a conviction she never moderates or apologizes for, that her son was fathered not by her husband, but by Zeus himself. His father teaches him that the world is there to be taken, and that weakness is the only unforgivable sin. His mother teaches him that he is divine, destined and chosen by forces greater than any mortal king. Between these two certainties, the ruthless pragmatism of his father and the burning mysticism of his mother, a child grows who will march further, conquer more, and die younger than any commander in human history. His name is Alexander, and the world has never seen anything like him before or since. Alexander grows up in a court where violence is the native language, and survival requires a particular kind of intelligence that textbooks do not teach. Macedonia under Philip II is not the refined philosophical world of Athens or the austere military culture of Sparta. It is rawer than both. A kingdom held together by the personal authority of a king who earned his throne through blood and holds it through the same means. Court politics in Pella operate on the understanding that alliances shift, that rivals disappear, and that the difference between a prince and a corpse is often nothing more than timing and nerve. Alexander learns this before he learns anything else. But Philip is also, paradoxically, a man who understands the power of education. When Alexander is 13, Philip hires a tutor whose qualifications are, by any measure, extraordinary. Aristotle, already the most formidable intellect in the Greek world, comes to Macedonia and spends 3 years teaching Alexander in the gardens of Mieza, a small sanctuary outside Pella. What passes between them in those years goes far beyond the conventional curriculum of rhetoric and philosophy. Aristotle teaches Alexander to observe, to question, to withhold judgment until the evidence is complete. He instills in the boy a passion for Homer that becomes almost religious. Alexander sleeps with a copy of the Iliad under his pillow alongside a dagger annotated by Aristotle himself. He teaches him medicine, botany, and the principles of scientific inquiry with a rigor that will shape Alexander's approach to every campaign he ever runs. But Aristotle also teaches him something he cannot fully control. He teaches him to believe that the highest human life is one of action aimed at excellence, that a man capable of great things has not merely the right, but the obligation to pursue them without limit. For a boy already convinced by his mother that he is divine, and by his father that he is destined to surpass him, this is not a philosophy. It is a permission slip. At 16, while Philip is away on campaign, Alexander serves as regent of Macedonia and crushes a rebellion in Thrace with a speed and decisiveness that stuns the court. At 18, he commands the cavalry at the Battle of Chaeronea, the engagement that brings all of Greece under Macedonian control, and delivers the decisive charge that breaks the sacred band of Thebes, the finest infantry unit in the Greek world, destroying it so completely that it never fights again. He is 18 years old. He has not yet begun. Philip II of Macedon is assassinated in 336 BC at his own daughter's wedding, stabbed by one of his own bodyguards in circumstances that ancient sources describe with careful vagueness and that historians have argued about ever since. The conspiracy behind the killing has never been fully resolved. Olympias is suspected, Alexander is suspected. Neither is ever proven. What is certain is that Alexander moves with a speed that suggests either extraordinary preparation or extraordinary instinct. Within days of his father's death, he has eliminated every potential rival to the throne, secured the loyalty of the Macedonian army, and declared himself king. He is 20 years old. The Greek city-states, hearing of Philip's death, immediately revolt. They have chafed under Macedonian dominance since Chaeronea and see the succession of an untested 20-year-old as their opportunity. They are wrong in a way they will not forget. Alexander marches south with his army at a pace that leaves the rebels no time to organize. Thebes, which has led the revolt, is made an example of, with a deliberateness that is clearly calculated. The city is razed to the ground. Its population is killed or sold into slavery. Only the temples and the house of the poet Pindar are spared, a gesture that communicates something essential about Alexander. He is capable of absolute destruction and, simultaneously, driven by a genuine reverence for greatness in any form. The message to the rest of Greece is received instantly and completely. There is no further revolt. But Greece was never really the point. It was never the destination. It was the launching pad. Because from the moment Alexander could articulate what he wanted was Persia. Not as a military objective, not as a strategic necessity, as a personal reckoning. The Persian Empire had invaded Greece twice in the century before his birth, burning Athens, desecrating temples, and leaving a wound in Greek collective memory that had never healed. Alexander intends to answer that wound with something so total and so final that the answer will last forever. In 334 BC, he crosses the Hellespont into Asia with an army of approximately 40,000 men and the personal treasury of Macedonia, which amounts to almost nothing. He is, by any rational financial calculation, already overextended before he fires a single arrow. He does not appear to notice.